Hey there, everyone. Happy Monday from Sedona. So what do you think of my style and new fashion statement here in black and white? I like it because it hides my wrinkles, but it's just this visual thing. See? Oh, see? I can get rid of the sunglasses. All right, I'm going to go back to regular. Okay, hi. This is what I really look like. Hey, Maria. Hi. So it's Monday afternoon here in Sedona, and I just came back from seeing my extraordinary chiropractor acupuncturist and eating a Lulu's raw vegan chocolate after a delicious lunch. So I'm all ready to have a conversation with you all, or rather, I guess a one-sided conversation until you start responding to me below. So today's topic was a request, actually. And I received this request, I think, last week, and then I've been gone for 3 days because I was at a really incredible conference where the theme I got to explore this theme. Hey, Susan, hi. So today's theme on request is resistance. And this is a wonderful, wonderful topic. It's actually a very big topic potentially, so I'll see what I could do in about 10 to 15 minutes time, because there's a number of ways that I could come at this. Hey Erica, welcome. So let me just tune in and catch the thread and notice what needs to arise first with regard to the topic of resistance. Okay, so the first thing that comes is the martial art Aikido. Now, I don't know if some of you, I'm sure, know that I spent many years as a martial arts teacher and instructor, competitive fighter, not in Aikido though. So, but we did at the gym that I used to own, we had an Aikido teacher. Now, the principle of Aikido, and some of you on here might know that already. Hey, Charla. Hey, Marcia. Aikido, the art of Aikido is such that when someone comes at you in an attacking mode, instead of resisting, you actually help it by. So there's all these techniques that sort of like arm locks and trips and things that let the person, the attacker's momentum, tie them up in knots, drop them to the ground, that kind of thing. Now, this is not a martial arts conversation, but that was the first thing that arose, is this way of approaching something unpleasant, an attacker, without resistance, by flowing with it and helping it by. Of course, that's a very physical technique, right? So let's take that same concept and consider it energetically. I've heard somewhere before, but it's been a while, this concept of energetic Aikido or spiritual Aikido. And this is it's the same exact principle. Someone comes at you with an attacking energy, and you have the choice then. And it could be, I don't mean attacking like, boom, going to beat you over the head. I mean like character assassination, criticism, insults, could be family stuff, you know. And you have the choice. You can engage, resist, or you could help it by. So one of the ways I've found to do this spiritual Aikido is with the prayers that I share sometimes here from A Course in Miracles, which is, please transform my perception so that I could see the truth. Because when we look at things from a different perspective, reframe it, energetically, it's a little bit like Aikido, right? Help it by. There's another, and then what's the other part is I offer this up to the Holy Spirit that we may both be healed and free. So when I find myself going into thoughts that are resistant, angry, whatever it is, offering them up. So that's one level of resistance, but there's another level another way I want to talk about resistance and how it shows up in our lives. And it has to do with change. So let's just shelve that whole concept of, attackers, either psychic, spiritual, physical. We're just going to shelve that completely now. That's like one segment. Now we're going to look at change. And I think it's clear to all of us that our world is calling for deep change. Change at a deep inner level. Because the way we've been doing things is not going to work. It's not going to continue to work. Which is a lot of what I talk about in these videos, is giving tools and tips and ideas and vision of some of the ways that we need to do our inner work to bring about the change that we wish to see in the world. And it really comes from beginning within. Hey Ben, welcome. So resistance to change is a real phenomena, because there's a saying, and I don't know if any of you have heard this. If you've ever heard it, let me know below, because I don't know where I heard it, but better the devil you know. So if you've ever heard that, give me some thumbs up or some hearts. Let me know that you're watching, that this is relevant to you. Better the devil you know. So this is why we can look at people who are in abusive relationships and go, why don't they leave? Better the devil you know. Most people who are in abusive or toxic relationships, they were often grown up in families of that quality of being, so quality of environment, so that's what they know. So, but we're not talking about that really either. We're just talking about resistance to change, even when we know that the change is good for us. Resistance can arise because it gets very easy to stay in our comfort zones. Hey Tammy, welcome. So what I like to say about the comfort zone is this: it is not a destination. I've said that in a video back when I was in Bali. Your comfort zone is not a destination. Your comfort zone is a resting place between periods of growth. So, oh, thank you, Tammy. So when we have resistance to change or growth, it can manifest in a lot of interesting ways. And now we're really going to get at, I want to really get at the core message that I want to share with you today about resistance and how it shows up. Because you would think that if it's time for growth and you need to stretch into something uncomfortable. For example, entrepreneurs face this a lot. In order for us to have more, to do more, to serve more, and to reach more, we have to become more on the inside. So developing an entrepreneurial business is one of the greatest activities in personal growth that you can do. And it's going to call you to stretch. Now, maybe your stretch is around the sales conversation. Maybe your stretch is one of mine, getting on video with wrinkles and being older and feeling like, oh my God, I don't look so good, but doing it anyway because I know that I have to stretch because I have to get my message out there. Stretching can also look like investing in your vision with money that's borrowed. So there's all kinds of ways. These are a few. And so what can happen is this resistance can arise. And interestingly, it doesn't always arise just in here. It's not like you just get a voice that goes, oh my God, I can't do that. Oh my God, I can't do that. That might be true. But when you make the decision to make the change, if you've ever had this, and let me know if you've ever had this, you make a decision to do something. Maybe it's out of your comfort zone. Maybe it's even a healing you want to undergo, but a part of you knows that if you really start healing and growing, it's going to change your marriage or your relationship with your kids or your parents or your career. And so all of a sudden you're trying to get to this thing. You're wanting to do this thing, this whatever it is. And the car breaks down. Oh, wow, I gotta do that. Your kid gets sick and you got to stay home so you can't go do it. You broke a fingernail. I mean, you name it. Resist it. Or you're stuck in traffic. Get stuck in traffic and miss the appointment for that transformational, life-changing thing. Believe it or not, all of these things are also resistance. When we are really at the leading edge of our growth, resistance arises. And this is the point where we push through, where we recognize that it's resistance and make a different choice. So if you're stuck in a traffic jam, you got to make the phone call and say, I'm going to be late, rather than, oh, forget it. Or whatever it is, whatever, having fear around sales conversations or asking for help. This is a big one. This one came up in the conference that I attended this weekend. Having a speech, having something of value, a message you want to share with the world, and then needing to reach out to everybody you know and ask them if they would refer you to people who might put you on their stage. And the resistance that showed up in the room, the fear around, oh my God, I can't ask people I know if they would. Resistance. So that's where we go to that feel the fear and do it anyway. Of course, you want to think things through, right? So let me just get connected again with what else needs to arise around resistance. In the meantime, I'd love to hear from any of you. Are you recognizing yourself in any of this that I've mentioned about resistance? Feeling resistance to change, resistance to stretching yourself in a new way, resistance, you're welcome, Susan, resistance to making a radical pivot in your life or your business, your relationship. All of these things can trigger resistance, which is normal. The thing to be aware of is that sometimes that resistance looks like it's external circumstances that are out of your control. And when that starts showing up a lot, here's what you do. You do your inner work. You face your fears, whether that's through getting some help with reprogramming your subconscious mind, doing some EFT tapping, doing some journal writing, doing some fast track with our dear friend Susan over here, who is a regular attendee on my little Facebook Lives here. Do NLP stuff. Just finding a way to move with the resistance and explore it, unpack it, open it up, be honest with yourself about it. Because it is normal to feel resistance when you have to stretch into something new. That's absolutely the case. And it doesn't have to be the stopping point for us. Sometimes we have to take a big breath and put our big girl or big boy panties on and go, okay, I really don't want to do this. It's very scary. But I'm going to feel the fear, and I'm going to do it anyway, and I'm going to move through my resistance. So, okay, let's see if there's anything else that I want to share about resistance. Got it. One of the quotes that came up this weekend, it was a quote, it's actually a quote I think from Tony Robbins, that is, do the unimportant, what is it? Do the non-urgent important things. When you do the non-urgent important things, those are the things that will radically shift your life. Because it's so easy to put things off. And again, this is really like another way of looking at resistance, right? It's like, oh, I have this whole list of things to do. Oh my God, I just got home. I've got to do all the laundry. My son is coming next week. I'm going to be too busy. The car needs an oil change. You name it. I need to order groceries, or I got to go to the grocery store. I got to go to the chiropractor. Oh, the car is empty. The refrigerator needs fixing. You name it. All of these important emergency things, they could come up every day. But it's those non-urgent, really important things, like sales calls if you're an entrepreneur. Those are the things that will radically change your life, your business. It's those non-urgent things like saying, gosh, my husband and I are drifting apart. We need to have a weekly date to stay connected. There's nothing urgent about it, but it could radically change your marriage. Or, my kid's playing a lot on that darn phone, but it's not urgent. It's okay. Well, then they become a teenager, and then they're gone. They're not in the house anymore because it goes by darn fast. So it's a non-urgent thing. It might seem like a non-urgent thing, but intervening to have relationship, to do things with them, can make a radical difference in how that relationship will be when they're adults. So, okay, let me see if there's anything else. I haven't gotten any questions from you, not even a thumbs up. So anyway, hopefully other people will watch this later besides the few of you are here, and it can spread a little more and get more info, help somebody else. So let me just check though. Is there anything else about resistance? Well, my invitation to you is to just notice if there's something that's maybe non-urgent in your life, but that if you do this, it's not too comfortable. You'd rather put it off and do other things. But if you do it, wow, it can make a big difference in your life. And just notice what sorts of things arise that want to get in the way. And just be aware. Just bring that awareness to it. Hey, Cassie, welcome. Just bringing that awareness to that and noting that even if it's on the outside, this could be resistance. And do I want to let this resistance keep me out of action on the things that can make a real difference in my life? Or am I willing to acknowledge courageously that, wow, look at this resistance is showing up as a parking ticket or something. And say, all right, I'm going to move with this and I'm going to keep going toward what I want. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. I want to tie it back in. I feel I want to tie it back into the first thing I said, which is that when someone pushes against you, I use the example of Aikido and the martial arts. Someone pushes against you. When you push back, that's resistance, right? So that's one kind of resistance, and it takes a lot of energy. But if you sidestep, you let their momentum send them by. That's one way to release resistance, and it will free you a lot energetically. And in a way, that is kind of what we do when we go, well, I really want this dream. Here's my dream. This is my dream. I want to, speak on a stage before 1,000 people or something like that. I don't know. That's not really my dream, but let's say. And so to do that, I have to develop a speech, and I have to promote myself, and I have to build a website, and I have to do these things. Oh, but I'm too busy right now, and my kids, I'm busy taking them to soccer every day, and the car broke down. I need to spend money on that, so I can't get a speaking coach right now. Maybe next year. See, in a way, there's an energetic way in which that's also, it's avoidance in a one way, but in another way, it's like holding off that sweet dream by managing all the emergencies around here. And you know what? There's always more of that stuff. Every day I look at my list, I should have pulled it out for you. My list, it's kind of short right now. I mean, I have like lists all the time. I have an entire book always dedicated to lists of things to do. And when I'm really wise, I put the stuff that the universe should take care of, like the little annoying things that I should do in the evening or when I'm not busy, and then the important stuff on the other side. Those unurgent, important things that make all the difference in our lives. Okay, so, well, I've blabbed on for a while now about resistance. I do hope this is in service to you. If you find any value, I would really appreciate a relevant comment. If you like the way I deliver a message that I know other people are delivering too, by all means, please check out my website. I've got a free gift, an empowerment library with some guided audios and some teachings there that you could listen to on your phone or iPod or iPad when you're traveling. And I'll put the link up above when I finish this video. And in the meantime, sending you bright blessings from a Monday afternoon here in Sedona. Wishing you all well, many blessings.